What's good, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the JYMs Podcast. This is just you and me, or should I say just us? I have Celeste here, my wife.
Hey, everybody.
We're going to do the Q&A episode. So if you sent questions in, they will get answered today. If you didn't, listen to the questions that we go through today. And if some of them pique your interest and you want to ask a deeper question, or if it helps you think of another question, add it in and put it into the comments, and we can do it on another episode. I just wanted to take a quick second and shout out my guy Caleb. This is his Christian clothing brand, FindGod. I don't know if they can really see, but
It's super cute. My soul cries out hallelujah, and I thank God for saving me.
Yeah. So the website is www.findgod, FindGod.co.nz. I believe they're in New Zealand, which is the NZ. So that's findgod.co.nz. But if you just Google FindGod or Google life is short, FindGod, it should pop up. So that's where you can get this much from. This is not a paid advertisement. Caleb did not ask me to do this. I just love my guy, and I think their brand and their apparel is very, very dope. So give it, definitely check it out. It's great quality. It's not the cheaper quality type of shirt.
It's nice and thick.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes, nice and thick material. So good quality. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. All right, guys. So it's finally time for the Q&A episode. We're going to go through, we have 12 questions, and we're going to go through those 12 questions, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
It'll be fun.
This is what, Saturday? Today's Saturday?
Today's Saturday.
Today is Saturday, so it should drop tonight. So if you're seeing this on Saturday, it should be out tonight. If not, I got a little lazy and it came out on Sunday. It's all good.
Yeah.
But you will see it at least by Sunday. So if you're watching this on Sunday,
We also just got home,
that's true.
so
Yes. We had a semi-vacation, not really vacation kind of thing going on, but
yeah.
But
we're here now.
Yeah.
Ready to record. And thanks for having me on your podcast. I love having conversations with you. So
You're welcome. Of course. All right, guys. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it.
Also, it's gonna be interesting because sorry, is that yours?
No, you're good. That was a long sound.
Also, I don't I looked over the questions, but I didn't really get a chance to look, which I like because I can just answer,
It makes it more natural.
Yeah.
I cheated. I looked at the questions. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see what they, because when they were originally sent, I didn't look at them, so I was trying to get an idea of what they actually say.
That makes sense. I mean, it's your podcast. You got to know what's on there.
That's true. But you're right. It makes it more natural. I love natural answers a little bit better.
I glanced through it because obviously, but in the comments, I looked at them, but it wasn't nothing that I studied,
Yeah.
But
by the way, I think this shirt is a large. I don't know if I said that on the last piece, but
yep.
Yeah,
large.
This shirt is a large. So if you are 6 foot and over, make sure you get at least a large. Okay. I'm not that big. I think I'm 160, 170-ish. Yeah. Get a large. If you feel like you're bigger than me, get a large. Not go with the medium, but they usually run bigger in size. Just want to throw that in there. All right. Now I'm going to play the correct sound. All right, guys. Here we go. Okay. Question number 1. How do you keep a happy marriage?
Okay. Starting out how to keep a happy marriage.
Okay. How do you keep a happy marriage? I'm gonna go with communication. I'm gonna start there. Communicate. Talk through everything. Yes. Talk through everything. Communicate clearly. Be honest. Be open. Don't do your best not to hide things. If it's something you can forgive, it's cool. You can forgive and let it go. If it's something you can't let go, you have to put it on the table. Because if you don't, you're gonna harbor those feelings, and it's gonna come up, and it just makes things 10 times worse. So
Yeah, I like that communication. I would also say just to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just two people in a relationship
Right.
who started off as friends.
Yeah.
So it's like you're chilling with your best friend every day. And yeah, there's times where you're gonna be serious, or you gotta take life a little bit more serious. But that doesn't mean your marriage is just not happy because you're being more serious in a moment. But
Right.
the marriage will just be happy in itself because you're communicating, you're having fun,
Yeah.
and you're just living with your best friend. Like,
Mhm.
tend to each other's needs, communicate, have that open communication with what you might need in a certain time of your life.
Mhm.
But it's nothing that's a burden.
Yeah.
If you're doing something for your best friend,
Yeah.
your husband, your wife,
That's a
it's
fact.
not a burden. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make it a burden.
Yeah, don't make it a burden.
To go further than that, don't make it a burden. What do they normally say? Like, have the mindset that you don't have to, but you get to.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not a burden; it's more of a privilege. Right. See
Yeah.
it as something more positive. I would also say, and this is something I say to friends who ask for advice and stuff like that, is remember that you're playing on the same team. I'll edit it out.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys aren't going against each other. All right. You're on the same team. You're playing together. Fight together. Just make sure that you are not at odds with one another. Even though you may have differences or disagreements, you guys are on the same team. So if you self-destruct that team, both of you guys lose. Not one person doesn't just lose in this thing. Both of you guys lose and you lose together. So play on the same team. Remember that you're trying to get back to a common ground to be able to work together. That's the only way this thing works. You have anything else to add on that question?
No. Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. Number 2. Do you believe in 50-50 in marriage?
I heard this. I don't know who said it, or someone mentioned it, or I saw it somewhere. But people are like, or they say it's 100, 100, which that's the point you're saying with 50-50. But it's really not. Let me give half and you give half, and then it's
Right.
like just give your all. But I also think that yes, 100, 100. You do your best for the relationship, but also whatever works for your relationship. Like, if it's going off of, that can be like financial, that can be whatever. But if it works for your relationship to go 50-50
Yeah.
in whatever it is, bills, I don't know, but then do that. Yeah. It's just as long as you don't do it as like how do you say, like, conditional.
Yeah, don't make it conditional. Yes. Don't make it conditional, and your relationship could be a 30-70, right? Or 80-20. It just depends. But everyone is different. Every person is different. Every relationship is going to be different. So if your relationship works on 70-30, other people may not see that as good, or think one person is being cheated and the other person is, whatever the case may be, right? But it doesn't matter what they think. They are not in your relationship. You guys are in your relationship, and whatever works for you guys, and that's how you operate. That's what matters. But yes, I believe in 100%. I won't even say 100 because that technically doesn't make sense. But
You saying what I said don't make sense?
no, what you said
what
doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Basically, like, so you said 50-50. You said that people say 100.
100, yeah.
Right. 100 doesn't make sense. 50-50, like you said.
Yeah.
See what I did there? 50-50 makes sense because it's 100%. 50% and 50%.
I mean it more so of, like, people don't take it as, like, I do half.
Yeah.
And you do half.
Right.
So the 100 makes it more of, like, whatever it is you're doing, what, like, the most that you can, and whatever that
exactly is. So if you're meaning 100 to mean basically 200%, then you're incorrect.
Yeah, no.
If you're meaning 100 as in each person is putting in their all, then that would be correct. Yes. But that's what I say. I say 100 because I believe both parties should put in their all. Even because there's going to be areas that I lack, there's areas that Celeste will lack, and usually the other party picks up that slack. in that area, and then vice versa. She'll pick up where I lack, and then we complement one another. That's why you give your all. That's why we both give our all. And typically, the relationship is going to work better when you give your all, and when both parties are putting in full effort. I think you can move forward much better. You had anything else to add on that?
No.
But yes, so I believe in 50-50 in marriage in terms of if we're talking 100%. So you both are covering your end of the bargain. But for me, it's going to be 100. All in for both parties. Let's move on to number 3. What are ways to keep God in your relationship if not going to church?
Well, first, I'd say make an effort to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. Oh, sorry. Okay,
No,
so the
okay.
question, but yes, definitely make an effort to go to church. But if you're unable to, for whatever reason, reading the Bible, even if you're reading together, keeping each other accountable that you're actually doing it. Yes, you can watch stuff online, but I guess that's a hard question for me because I would say go to church.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to speak into our situation a little bit?
Oh, like recently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
It's a good example.
Yeah, recently I haven't been to church in, like, I would say since August. It's now December. We just went back this past Sunday, but I could not. Like, I had another job that I was doing also full time. 2 full-time jobs basically. So my Sundays I had normally have off and we go to church, so we've been going to church every Sunday until August, where for one of my full-time jobs, Sunday I had to work. And I couldn't just not go in. I didn't have an off day. I was working Monday through Sunday since August till now. So now I'm finally off. And so that was tough because I'm like, dang, I cannot go to church. Not because I don't want to go to church. I can't.
Yeah.
So in that case, like, you try to make other things work. Like I was watching online or reading, just reading stuff like that. And even with one of my full-time jobs, we were doing devotionals and stuff like that. So that was helpful too. But I hated not being able to go to church.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that was kind of what we've been through the last 3 months.
Right.
I could not go to church.
So that's a good example. Work life was conflicting, with the schedule to be able to go and attend church in person, right? So the discipline in your relationship with God is going to have to cover a lot of that. Your prayer life, your getting in the Word and just spending alone time with God, right? There's tons of ways to interact with God and have conversation and have time with Him and continue to build your relationship. While church is necessary for all of these things, don't get that twisted. Church is necessary for all these things. Go to church is very important. The reason why church is important is because of community. In terms of your prayer life and your relationship with God, all of those things you can do on your own, but there is a significant boost and just tons of different qualities that come with it when you see other people and when you're around other people who are doing it, which is the church, right? Community is something you can't do on your own. You need other people. That's where church comes into play. That's technically the only thing that's going, that sets it apart in terms of being alone and being with God in your alone time and not necessarily making it to church. And then obviously when you go to church, that's the thing we're missing out on in terms of not being able to go on Sundays.
And also, I would say don't let someone else be the reason why you can't go to church. Like, Deontay was still going every now and then. I mean, he worked too, so it was hard for him also. So when he could, he would still go even if I couldn't. And there's moments where I would be able to go, and sometimes I'd be like, I don't want to go without you, but he would say like, go if you can go. Why aren't you going? So if it's something where I could go, but my partner doesn't want to go, or they're not here with me, or they can't. If you can go, what's stopping you from going to church? So
yeah. If you can, go. But to answer the question specifically, if you're not able to go to church, find a sermon online Let's start there. We have this tool. Use this tool as a resource. Find a sermon online of a pastor or someone who speaks messages that you trust and you feel like they're following the Bible correctly, and have discernment, because a lot of people on there, excuse me, a lot of people on there are not doing it correctly. So have discernment and make sure you are going over that and picking the correct person to listen to their sermon. Listen to the sermon together, discuss it, have conversation about it, and pray together. Right? Read the word together during that time in the morning or whatever, on Sunday mornings, and that will help you out, but it will never suffice for church. So whenever you get the chance to go to church, find a church, and then make sure you're attending when you can and if you can. Anything to add on that question?
No.
Okay. All right. So, excuse me. Number 4, how to keep the spark alive.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
How to keep the spark alive?
Dang, I should have asked for more information on that question.
Yeah, that's what I say. Well, some of the questions are like, if we're talking in terms of relationship, finances, you can use it in all different ways, but
yeah,
how to keep the spark alive? I'm gonna assume. Well, I'm not gonna assume. I guess I'll just talk about right now, like
what you're thinking of.
Yeah, what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
We've been married for 5 years. 5 years, going on 6 years.
Going on 6.
But together since 2017. So, what's that?
Shoot.
7 years.
2024. 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like we still have fun, but what we do, I mean, definitely make an effort to still show the person that you care about them, that you love them, and then just having conversations. Yes. Talk about what you need, or hey, we used to do this and we stopped doing that. Like, can we do that again, or find something new for you guys to do together? Like, oh, we've done everything. There's nothing for us to do anymore. There's tons of stuff out there to do.
You can pick literally anything.
Anything. And so even if it's just, let's go out to eat at this new restaurant. It doesn't have to be a whole, you spend a ton of money on each other or whatever. It can just be even at home. Like, hey, let's have a movie night, but let's go buy snacks. Let's go get some pizza and let's watch this new movie together. Yeah. Just doing things like that to really spend quality time.
Exactly.
Together, I think.
Yeah, we literally just went to a new food spot last night, and it's not the most typical spot. It's not always an ideal spot, but we adventure like that. We want to try new foods. We want to go to new places and see, how the food tastes, and if it's a, nice spot to hang out or whatever, right? And we went there, and it was solid. It was a solid spot, and we created memories at that spot. For us, food, practically anywhere.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? We're gonna have a good time.
Food, let's go. I don't care. I've never been there before. Let's go.
Yeah. Food is gonna get us there. That is one of the ways we keep our spark. We do little date nights here and there. We don't necessarily it's not always planned. You know what I mean? It's not something where we're like, we only have date nights on Tuesdays or Thursdays, but that might work for you. So there's nothing wrong with that. But we mainly will kind of just look and be like, okay, what new food places open right now? Or we'll see what places are open at the time that we're available. And then if we see a new spot, like, oh, this spot looks interesting, let's go there, which is what we did last night.
Yeah.
So that's a way to keep the spark, be adventurous. Do, try some new things, try new foods and stuff like that. And, you may not like it, whatever, but you'll create those new memories with one another.
I think even, like some people, let's say, okay, I'm trying to do all these things, but it's hard. I don't know, like the other person is not interested or doesn't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't know how to, like, I'm trying to do these things for whoever.
Right.
I think a good thing to do also, like I said, some of our date nights have been, hey, you come up with 5 things you want to ask me. I'll come up with 5 things I want to ask you or share with you that I haven't really been able to get off my chest. Yes. Let's go on a date and then let's talk about these things. So even that can just be a start of, okay, let me take it in this direction instead of trying to give to this person you're not giving back.
Right.
Now this person's able to at least communicate with you this is what I'm actually feeling at this time. I'm actually not that I'm not interested, but I'm not like in the mood to have fun. Like I'm not having like maybe I'm dealing with something or I'm struggling with something and I can't do that right now. Then at least you understand, okay, well let me tend to this person's need in a different way and then reignite the spark differently. Yeah.
Yes. If that question was going into something deeper, like intimacy, let me know, and then we can reevaluate that question. Because I feel like it probably was going that route, but I'm not sure. But it would technically be the same answer: is being spontaneous, not always going based off of a schedule, maybe, right? Try something a little different. Try something different, and you will create more memories. That's technically what you want to do. You just want to switch things up a little bit and kind of work through it that way. But if it's going deeper, we can get into that. I just want to make sure that's what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, you can cut this part off too if you don't want to. But if I feel like if they're already asking, what if it's something like they can't or don't want to, and they just want to hear it?
Yeah. Okay. You want to go into it?
Yeah. Like why not?
Yeah. All right. We're just gonna go into it then. Go ahead.
Again, I think just having those conversations with each other. I don't even know where to start though. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, just talk it out, right? Having conversations, figure out what's going on. Where are you guys lacking in terms of intimacy, right? Where are you lacking? What do you need more? Do you need more touch? More people are more of a touch person, right? Maybe you need to put on something a little more, a little more spicy, right? Your partner might like that. But if you don't communicate, you won't know what those things are. So make sure you're discussing what your partner likes. Figure out what they like. Try to set something up in the bedroom, flowers or whatever, right? Be romantic. Sometimes a person can be jumping into intimate activities a little too early and there's no build up, right? There's no foreplay. And what you want to do is actually you want to build into it because that person might be more into that. They might be more into the beginning part of it and building up to that, and then vice versa. But you have to communicate to know what those things.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you gotta talk to your partner because you can't have your partner just be doing the same thing. That's not doing anything for you. Right. You have to communicate that, and that's the only way that your intimacy is you're gonna be able to take it to that next level because now your partner, okay, my partner prefers this instead. I've been doing it wrong this whole time, and a lot of times people don't even really know what either women like or what men like. You just have an assumption, or you see things on TV or movies, computer, your phone, whatever, and you think this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
That's not the case for everybody. But let's say you started off well and then you kind of just have lost that. Kind of just remember back, okay, what was I doing differently then? Or sometimes you get into your own you get comfortable with your person and you think, well, I don't really have to dress up. They like me how I am. I don't have to look good or put makeup on. And not if you don't wear makeup, fine. It's for people who wear makeup. But
yeah, it's situational.
Yeah, situational. I used to do this for my partner. Maybe I should get back into looking good for my partner. You want to look good for your partner. Yes, they love you without all that stuff or without dressing up or your hair done. Or yes, they love you. But then sometimes though it's a good reminder of like, I want to, take care of myself or look good for my partner.
Right.
So he can look at me and be like, wow, she looks good today. And if it's not something that you're going to do every day, do it every now and then as a reminder of like, this is how you met me, you know?
Yeah, a bit of nostalgia, right? Let's take a page from the last episode I did talking about kindness and being considerate of others. In your intimate relationship as well, this is very, very key. I need to be thinking about what she would like and vice versa. It's not my job to think about what I would like. I can communicate that with her, but I'm supposed to be focused on what she likes because it's my job to make sure she's experiencing that, right? So that's why you have to ask those questions. The less you try to focus on yourself and trying to cater to yourself and getting what you want, you can focus your attention to what you are actually supposed to be doing, what your job is, which is making sure she is experiencing what she's supposed to experience, and then she will be better at her job in helping you experience what you should be experiencing, because she doesn't have to focus on herself. That's where you communicate and you tell one another what each person likes, and then now you go from there. But like I said, or like we said, communicate, talk about it, talk it out, figure out what's lacking, brainstorm ideas of what you could add, and yeah, go through things that you used to do that you could possibly add back into your routine, and then just work through it. Be forgiving, understand one person might be a little more busy, or you just never know, right? Try to be understanding, and then work through it as you're going, basically.
And also, just to add, don't be afraid to ask somebody if you need a little bit of like advice. A lot of people deal with that. A lot of people deal with like maybe a fall in that like intimate area. A lot of people deal with that, or a lot of people are kind of like, oh, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, or I kind of don't feel like lately I haven't been in the mood, I don't know why. A lot of people,
it's common,
hit those moments. So just ask someone, and I guarantee that someone's going to have dealt with that or currently dealing with it, and it's not something that you should feel ashamed of, or like, maybe I need help, maybe something's wrong with my body. Sometimes you just need to talk about it with someone and realize, okay, other people feel the same way I do. I can figure something out. Like, I can get back to where I was. Like, it's not just me, Also, just one more thing to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes just taking care of yourself can also help.
Like, taking care of your body?
Yeah. Taking care of your body, your health, and just staying active, staying fit. Like I tell Deontay all the time, I don't want to get lazy or you love me, so I'm just gonna eat whatever I want, not take care of my body. I don't have to work out anymore.
You get complacent.
Yes, and it's not just for your partner, but for yourself. Take care of your health. And so I tell him, if you ever realize like I'm falling off, which I do get into my pattern sometimes, I'm like, please remind me, because not only do I want to look good for you, I want to look good for myself. I want to take care of my body. Also, your body's a temple, so you don't want to just let yourself go.
Yeah, you want to take care of it.
You want to take care of it, and then so that can help that spark too. Just taking care of your health.
Yes, and once again, that's my job to hold her accountable of that, and vice versa. It's her job to hold me accountable of that. So yeah. All in all, communicate. Let's go to number 5. All right, guys. So we have 2 more questions that we're going to get into. There will be a part 2. So let's do make a like goal.
Make what?
A like goal for the video, and then we'll do part
2. I don't know. I probably said it too high.
Nah, pick a number. Fine.
Let's do. I'm scared.
I was gonna say like 10 or 20.
Okay, I was gonna say 20.
Let's go 20.
Let's do 20.
20 likes on the video. We'll do a part 2.
On any 20 likes from all your platforms?
No, on this video.
And this video is gonna be where?
On YouTube. Yeah. So if you're watching on Spotify and you want a part 2, go to the YouTube, subscribe, and then hit the like button. Yeah.
Okay, we can do this.
Appreciate that. All right. Next question is, what are each other's strongest or weakest traits in the relationship and or individually?
Strongest in the relationship for me, I will say, because you remind me all the time, and I do know this because a lot of my friends have also reminded me of this of myself, is that I'm very patient when it comes to my friendships, dealing with strangers or someone who's like giving me a lot, being very patient.
Yes.
And I'm very patient with him too, but I'm just patient with everybody. So I think that's one of my strongest in our relationship.
Her strongest trait. Well, no, she has other strong qualities, but that I mean, for me, because that is actually a weakness for me, that is a very, very strong trait for her in my book.
Yeah.
But yes, patience. I believe she is the epitome of patience.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yeah. And I don't know, she's just very good at taking the high road. And it's not always about being right. I'm always right? Which that's where the problem lies. So,
but we both like to be right.
yes,
but
she'll take the high road.
Yes, but in my mind, what I'm thinking is, I'm right, but I'll whatever.
Oh my gosh, I'm always right. I it's a tough burden to be able to carry. Being right all the time, but I gotta learn how to let other people be right sometimes. Sure, whatever. No big deal. Weakest? No, the strongest for me.
Yeah, strongest for you.
Strongest for me. I would say my strongest would be vulnerability. Vulnerability and just being open, basically. Being able to discuss tough topics, bringing it to the table, making it a safe space to be able to speak. That's what I would go with.
That is his strongest, and that's something good though when it kind of pisses you off inside because, and not just when you're being vulnerable, but like when we're both having a tough conversation, where in my mind I want Deontay to say this just to make me happy, or just to like be on my side. But there's times where he's sharing a lot about what he really thinks about something, and he won't give in to what I'm trying to get him to say. And yes, I could just be upfront and tell him what I want, which sometimes I do, and he's like, no, like, Celeste, this would not work, blah 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 blah, and then we go into a whole, and I'm like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, but he's able to do that with me, and I like it because there's times where, okay, then whatever, I'll fall back, and I'm like, I guess he was right. Later I'll come on and be like, yeah, I guess. This is the only time where I feel like you're right. But yeah, he is able to really share a lot, which I feel like most guys feel like they have to have this like tough, manly wall, and I don't share my emotions, I don't share what I'm thinking, but he does share a lot, and so I appreciate it because I can actually know what's going on in his mind. And he doesn't keep anything from me. Even if it's not something that I want to hear, he still tells me. So I do like that about you.
Thank you.
And I've told you that from the beginning too. Like when we met, like I like that you're not a guy who's just in the back, quiet, up against the wall, like mysterious guy. He was very outspoken about any and everything. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That I agree with that. My weakest? Or is that
weakest.
Are we gonna say something?
No, go ahead. Go weakest.
Weakest?
I kind of said already that my weakest was the patience thing. And I would say attitude, but my attitude's gotten a million times better. I think I'm actually on the correct side of that at this point, especially when I'm handling it with strangers or other people. Way better in that front of things now. But yeah.
I'm trying to think of like my weakest. I don't think I have any weaknesses. No, I'm just kidding.
She don't have any weaknesses, guys.
I'm just kidding. One that I feel like is a weakness. I don't know if it's like my.
You don't know if it's your weakest.
One for sure is my socializing. Like socialization, You say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, with
socializing.
And like in our relationship, I'm normally the women are the ones who are more social, and I'm just not. And I am, but it's just I'm not. It's hard for me if I'm in a place where I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna go out of my way and let me make myself known. Let me go meet people. I feel so bad sometimes because I'm like, and let him go because he's gonna be the one to be social.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's very just outspoken, and I'm kind of like, I feel so bad sometimes. Like, why can I not just have that? Like, so let's just go. No one cares. Like, go talk to people. You're in a new place. Go meet people or go off by yourself. But I have gotten better about that.
Yes,
for sure.
Better. She will she will socialize, but it's more of a like once you get past the introductory, right? If you're expecting her to come up to you and start conversations, probably not. That's probably not going to happen.
And it's not because I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's she's awkward.
And low-key seems she doesn't necessarily want to bother people, or then there's just the pressure of of having that conversation or just that awkward space, I guess you could say. But she will socialize with you. Once you break the ice, you're good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where before I wished everyone had like a screen on top of them saying what they liked, and I'd be like, oh, I can go talk to the person. I work out too. I do this also, and it'd make it easier for me. But it's good that we don't have that, because then I could just go and talk to anybody, But it has gotten better being here now in Florida for 5 years that we've been married. Well, longer, since 2017.
Yeah,
7 years. But now you just meet people and you know people and you grow up and you realize like talking to people is really not that big of a deal. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've gotten past that, or I've gotten to that point now where I'm just like, you're an adult. Why am I freaking out about having a conversation with someone else? If it's awkward, so what?
Yeah.
Like,
I won't always start a conversation. I can start a conversation, but I won't always start it. But I can talk to practically anybody. Like, if you approach me and you want to have a conversation, I'm open to having a conversation with practically whoever. With her, that's where it differs.
Yeah.
She'll have a conversation with you, but you got to break the ice basically, and then she'll conversate. But way better in that area. Like, it's not even close. Same for me with patience. Not even close to where we were, prior or earlier in our marriage or relationship. It's way better now. Like, to the point where you probably didn't even notice it until we said something about it. Weakness for me, should I do something other than patience?
If you want to.
Yeah. Technically it is still patience, but I would say it would be more of like letting things go now. I don't harbor like anger for people or whatever you want to call it, but it's more like I don't forget their actions. I want to say Pastor Clayton said something about this in a message like not too long ago, and it hit me because I do you play into the forgive but don't forget type of thing.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yes. But I'm typically not that type, but I feel like lately that's been a bit of a weakness for me in terms of recent times. But it's not that much of a struggle. I can figure it out. I just got to get over myself, basically, is what it is.
Yeah. This, I know we can move on, but you could either cut it or take it in. But would you want to say what you think?
Yeah.
Your weakness is?
I was going to say that, but I kind of forgot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'll say your weakness.
You say what you think is one of my weaknesses, and I'll say what I think what your weakness is.
Okay. You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
And then for me, to Deontay, one of his weaknesses, I feel like, and I wouldn't even say it's a weakness. It's something that everyone can just work on, and it's not like gonna stay there as a weakness. But sometimes he struggles a lot with sticking to one thing.
Yes.
He likes to take on so many different or wear so many different hats.
Yes.
Okay? He likes to wear so many different hats. And then he'll get to a point where he stresses himself out. And then he's like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I'm like, Deontay, you chose those things. Like, you chose to do those things. And so I think he overwhelms himself with trying to do so many different things or he just has so many ideas. Like, he has so much creativity going on in his mind that he voices them. He wants to start him right away. And then he's like, no, I got something else. Voices them, starts it. No, I got something else. And I'm like, stick to one thing. If you stick to one thing, you got it. But his brain just moves so fast that I'm like, slow down, because now you really are overwhelming yourself and you're stressed, but you're doing it to yourself. Like, you chose this life, okay? You chose this life. But that's what I would say for you.
Yeah, that is true. I'm working on that now.
He is working on it.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to stick to one thing and actually grow it to the point where it is beneficial or, I guess, profitable. And then I can move to something else.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you think I'm talking about just like a little hobby? No. I mean,
No.
like
there's more. Okay, let's
let's move on.
Let's move on. Weakness for you. Okay, I want to say this is a strength and a weakness. What is it like? Being frugal.
Frugal.
Being frugal is like no. Frugal is like being cheap almost, right? I think.
Is that?
I think so. I don't think I'm talking about the right thing. Hold on. Okay, I think what I'm trying to say is being spontaneous, right? I feel like she is spontaneous in the sense of no,
you think I'm
she's
cheap?
not cheap. She's not cheap. That's not what I was meaning to say. I was thinking frugal meant something else. My bad. But being spontaneous, she, like she'll get ideas and want to do different things. Like in terms of like how I was saying, we go out to eat at places. She thinks of tons of things like that, like going to see different places or going to different like restaurants and stuff like that. But what?
I knew you had that, but I said but.
But okay, so on the flip side of it, I guess being a little too spontaneous. I don't know if I'm saying this right.
Come on, say it. I want to know. I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Hold on, let me.
Okay, figured it out.
Yes, I got it. All right. So yes, I was right with the spontaneous thing, but she spends a little too loosely financially.
That's true.
That's what I'm getting at.
That is true.
And it's actually not that bad. So don't go to the extreme on it. It's not that bad, but that would technically be one of her weaknesses. And more in the sense of, I feel like she could save a lot more. Here's a good example. Okay, leftovers. We will go out and get food, and there will be a ton of food left over, and it will sit in the fridge for 1 day, 2 days, and she won't eat it. She will go out and get more food, or she'll then cook
leftovers.
More food. She don't eat leftovers. That's what I mean. See, there we go.
He thinks I'm wasteful.
Wasteful.
But when it comes to leftovers, kind of. All they're gonna do, anyways, in the restaurant is throw it away. So, me throwing it away is not a big deal. But okay, that's not what you're saying though.
Yes.
I buy things and then I don't do anything with it. Either I don't eat it when it comes to food, or if it's something I bought at a store, I bought it because I liked it, and then I get it, and I'm like, and I'll expose myself, okay, because I bought some candles.
She did.
They're still sitting in my car in the bag. It's been like a week.
Yeah.
But it was a good deal. It was a good deal, you guys. I couldn't pass it up.
I mean, you got a point.
One day it will come in handy. Yes. But you're right.
But yes.
Let me shut up.
That would be a weakness. Did we choose a strength for each other? We didn't.
No.
We said a strength. So yeah, let's motivate each other now.
Okay.
A strength.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I think one of your strengths is just how like of a leader you are as a man.
Thanks. Like, I didn't think you were gonna say that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
No, he really is a strong leader as a man. Not even just as a man, but like in a relationship. Like he's really good about tending to my needs, taking care of me, but then also like leading me. He doesn't just lead with like no advice to me of how to be better, I guess. Like when I'm leading, like he does his thing in the relationship, but he's also like, Celeste, you gotta be able to do this on your own. When I'm with him, he'll do it. But he's like, if I wasn't here, you have to be able to do it also. So he'll still show me. So he doesn't just like leave me blank, yeah, and you just in all aspects, like you take care of me. But even since you were in college, you've kind of been on your own in a sense. So since then, like I've trusted you, so even with moving to from Texas here, that's a hard move. I was 17 when I like came to Florida, and then getting married at 19 in Florida, just us two here in our area at least.
Yeah.
I knew I could trust him though, because even at a young age, he was taking care of himself, leading himself. I'm like, I can trust this guy. Yeah, he's a great leader. And you are.
Thank you.
A great husband too. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I would say for her, she is very like catering, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Catering. There's another word for that, I think. But I was like, she caters very, very well.
Hospitable.
Yes, there we go. Being hospitable. She takes care of me. When she cooks, she plates my food. She'll bring it to me. She'll bring drinks, right? Obviously, I can do all of that stuff myself, but she prides herself on doing it, and that is definitely a strong suit of hers. And it's not just on that level. That's a bit of a smaller level. It's very, very appreciated. I can tell you that. First off, I appreciate it even on that level, but even in higher levels of things, she's very interested in things that I'm involved in. She wants to help me out in those things. She'll try to give me advice or, help me with getting things that will help that out. Mm-hmm. Even in the sense where it comes off a little stronger, right? Where she has to give me advice and tell me, hey, you need to slow down. It don't feel the best, but she's still catering to me by letting me know, hey, you're taking on too much. You're going a little too far. Let's reel it back in. It doesn't always feel like it, but that is still her being hospitable and letting me know where I've kind of pushed that boundary a little bit. So,
no, thanks. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, I like doing things for you. So,
yes, she takes very, very good care of me. Just to let y'all know. Last one. How many likes we said again? 20? 20 likes.
It's gonna be a long video, but hopefully you can make it
part through. 2. 20 likes for a part 2. Okay. How do you stay motivated to keep God in your life even when things are falling apart? And this is financially, mentally, and emotionally. I'm gonna read it again. How do you stay motivated to keep God in your life even when things are falling apart?
I say this to myself a lot because I don't let myself be like or feel defeated by things. That joy comes in the morning because like you're not gonna be there forever, so that helps me. Or what was the beginning of it? Like
how do you stay motivated?
Yeah, that motivates me. It's like, okay, it's not gonna be like this forever. I'm not alone. God's looking after me. Like he's gonna lead me in the direction I need to go. So that also helps me not just kind of like sit in like this or sulking, like I'm depression now, like moping. Yeah, no, it's like, okay, joy comes in the morning, but I gotta take action. God's gonna take care of me. He's gonna lead me where I need to go. Let me at least stay focused or do something else to see like where that's gonna take me. And so that helps me stay motivated.
Yes. Staying motivated to keep God in your life even when things are falling apart.
Oh, to keep God in your life?
Yes, to keep God in your life.
I think I answered that wrong.
That was a good answer though.
Yeah.
It was good advice. It was good advice.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
How do you stay motivated to keep God in your life even when things are falling apart? I would say keeping your discipline, right? Prayer life, getting into the Word and spending a long time with God, worship, worship music and stuff like that. That when things are on the downside in any area, financially, mentally, and emotionally, if your disciplines lack or were lacking, when you hit that down moment, it's going to be a lot harder for you. If your disciplines are solid, you're keeping a good discipline regimen and, you're spending time with the Lord, that relationship is going to be a lot stronger. And those things won't affect it nearly as much as if you are not keep it, on the right track. For example, if Celeste and I were spending 0 time together, I was not catering to her needs and, she's not being seen, she's not being heard. If I wasn't making money too, that would be like the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, nah, bro, like something got to get fixed. If you're not going to pay attention to me, you at least got to provide, right? You know what I mean? So in terms of this, it's like, if you're not spending time with the Lord, he can't necessarily start to help strengthen you in those areas where things may be a little weaker. And then when you hit rock bottom and you really need that training in the Lord and you need that strength in the Lord, you can't just depend on it when that time hits. You got to start building that up prior and be in relationship with him. That way, when that time comes, you will be prepared enough to be able to get through.
Yeah. Just to add a little bit to that, because I definitely answered that wrong, but it's okay. Yeah. You know, whatever.
That was good advice. So I hope y'all was listening. That was good advice.
For me, is definitely worship music. Like sometimes, let me look at this.
Yeah, go ahead.
To keep God in your life. Yeah. But when things are falling apart, or even if I feel like I'm falling off spiritually or whatever, sometimes just playing worship music for me kind of helps me remember, like, oh, that's right. Like, I am blessed. Oh, that's right. You know, he is powerful. Oh, okay. You know, I am not doing this alone. You know, whatever the case is. And then it's just like, okay, let me get my mind right and get back on track.
It's a reminder.
Yeah. It's a good reminder for me. So.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. So that is it for now. This has been another episode of the JYMs Podcast. This is just for me. My name is Deontay, and this is my beautiful wife, Celeste.
Thanks for having me on the JYMs Podcast. JYMs?
JYMs.
Yeah. JYMs. I always mix it up, but JYMs Podcast.
If you get confused, it's called, the name of the podcast is called Just You and Me. Then I made the acronym JYM, and I added the S, did the whole dropping gems thing, so I just called it JYMs. JYMs is just easier for me to say.
Yeah, but JYMs, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Yeah, part 2, so 20 likes.
20 likes. Make sure y'all get that. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you are listening on Spotify or any of the other platforms that is not YouTube, definitely leave feedback in the comments there, or interact with the channel on those platforms, because if not, I'm gonna start weeding some of those out. If it's not, there's no engagement, there's no point in that resource. But you guys, if you're listening there, engage there. That way I know you're listening there. Okay? Make sense? You got anything else to add?
No.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.